Hi, we're here at Consensus Hong Kong 2026, and I'm joined by Todd Ault, who is building Ault Blockchain, a finance-first layer one born out of the need for truly uncensorable infrastructure. Now, Todd, I know that this all starts with a pretty incredible origin story. You were abruptly debanked
Oh, multiple times, yeah.
multiple times.
10
Okay,
times.
but despite running fully compliant businesses, I understand. So,
Fully compliant. Yeah.
so
By the way, fully compliant and public on the New York Stock Exchange. So not only were we debanked, but we were a New York Stock Exchange company that was debanked more than 10 times. When I say that, people think I'm exaggerating. I'm saying 10 times is the minimum. I stopped counting.
yeah, that's wild. I can relate. I have also been debanked in Singapore and it sucks. So for other people here at Consensus Hong Kong, why do you believe that this idea of truly uncensorable infrastructure is a business necessity and not some kind of like cypherpunk ideal?
Listen, I want to be compliant with all U.S. laws, international laws, but the problem is with the way the system is working, even still today, is that even when you're compliant, an individual making a decision at a compliance department can just say, because we're a private company, we're not going to do business with you, and you're basically blackballed, right? So I want to create a system where it's permissionless, not permissionless from fraud. If you do something wrong, you should be prosecuted. They got to follow all the laws. But the idea that a random person can decide that you get to pass or not pass. There was a time where we had approximately 200 million of Bitcoin at Gemini, and we literally could not. We sold the Bitcoin. We had the cash at Gemini, because we are a public company and custodian. We couldn't wire it. We had no bank to wire it to, and we couldn't make payroll. I had to literally borrow from friends and send from Zelle and do all kinds of stuff to make payroll for the parent company. Thank God the subsidiaries weren't debanked. But this is how bad it was for us. I don't know if they have it in Hong Kong, but in the United States, there's something called Girl Scouts. And my wife was a Girl Scout leader, and we sold Girl Scout cookies. Not only did, and I'm going to say it out loud, I don't normally say this, but not only did the US bank debank all my companies, they debanked and took my wife's Girl Scout cookie away from her. And that was the beginning of the end for me. The day I decided that I would build a different system. And so our blockchain is designed for people to be permissionless, not fraudulent, not have the ability to do things wrong, but just not have to ask Mother May I when you are compliant.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wild that we even have
By the way,
to talk about this in this day and age. Yeah.
It's not an easy thing, because no matter what in crypto, you still need rails, on-ramp and off-ramp rails. So what we're doing is investing in banking. We're investing in federally chartered banks in the United States. We're investing in payment systems and partners that want to make it possible. I have no problem with KYC. I have no problem with KYB and all the things you need to do. But it can't just be I randomly decided to not give you a bank account after you're there, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
So you said that Ault is a response to systemic exclusion. It's not a speculative project.
Absolutely. 10 years emissions, but we don't give out any tokens. So we don't even give out a single token. You have to earn your way here. You have to run a miner. You have to have proof of stake, and you have to be part of the ecosystem. This is not a play where we're going to just issue crypto the first day. It issues over a 10-year period, declining.
And you've said that you've got, I'm just reading here, more than 750,000 node licenses already reserved or allocated. That's a lot of early demand. So these licensed mining nodes, how is that helping to solve some of the decentralization issues that a lot of these types of projects have had?
Well, the harder thing is you got to make sure they're not securities, right?
Yeah.
And working, so we always say this, you're getting compensated for your work as proof of stake, or proof of work, right? Like Bitcoin. So we took the initiative of Bitcoin because we're big Bitcoin miners. That's our primary business. Well, not anymore, but it's one of our biggest businesses. And we took the proof of work concept and said, hey, we're just going to reward you for running a software node and for validating the network, for verifying transactions, and running as close as you can like Bitcoin, but with more efficiency, 200 milliseconds per block, really fast service, the ability to trade and onboard and offboard real world assets and stuff like that. It's really a giant global market system that anyone permissionless can join and run at a really high octane, really high speed.
Got it. Okay, so also, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ault is a Wyoming DAO LLC.
That's right.
And so why is this legal structure so important? Like, is that the missing link for institutions that might want to participate in DeFi, but they're missing that regulatory clarity?
You have to, we operate in the laws of the United States, and that's really important to me. I'm a US citizen. I care deeply about my country. And and the framework is kind of where we are right now. If you look at Singapore, you look at Dubai, you look at Switzerland, they're a little bit more advanced than we are in the US now in terms of the laws. They're real confusing. So our legal system, this is the best framework to operate, where we have autonomous and we have a decentralized board that makes decisions, and there's voting going on. It allows for the network to be more secure and everyone to have a say-so. So
Excellent.
it's just the current structure. I mean, everyone would have loved to just pre-mine everything and, print it out there and not have five or six validators and not really worry about it, right? But I need to be compliant. So, I'm as a public figure and running a public company on the New York Stock Exchange, I don't have the luxury of just skirting the laws and saying, oh, I'm really over here in this country, right? So we operate and abide by the laws of the United States.
I think that's only becoming more and more important in this space, and also more and more doable.
Sure.
In terms of what we're seeing with the catch-up
Sure.
with regulatory clarity. I wanted to ask about the Only Bulls super app.
Yeah.
You already shipped it on iOS and Android.
Right.
Why was it so important to you to make sure that you've got that active user base even before the mainnet goes
So
live?
we did things very unusual here. We started about 8 years ago, and we've been building infrastructure for the launch of a blockchain. We always anticipated the laws would catch up. They didn't. We had a lot of scrutiny during this period of time, this being a miner since 2011 to now. I got involved in Bitcoin in 11, right? So this tells you the cycle we went through, right? And the FTX investments and all the things that happened, right? And so we just thought of ultimately things would catch up to compliance. And so we've been building this infrastructure beforehand, and we always knew we'd make it Web3.
Yep.
So we're probably one of the more unique blockchains that when we launch, we're already going to have revenue and activity going on. We have 41,000 members of Bitcoin Max, which will be level 2 on our platform. We have, I think, 56,000 active members of Only Bulls.
Wow.
We have more than 1 million active members of Ask ROI, which is also going to hop on chain. The prediction markets outside platform will have tons of members on it too, all contributing to the ecosystem of effectively producing demand for the coin.
Got it.
Yeah.
Last question for you, just quickly. You mentioned FTX.
Yeah.
I think, in the aftermath of FTX, Terra Luna, trust is something that's been really damaged in this space. So when you're speaking to institutions, to sophisticated investors, how do you convince them that they can convince the Ault infrastructure?
That's a very good question. 7 different audits of our code from different independent players. We constantly audit every quarter, basically. Any changes are fully audited. We're an audited public company, so we're audited by CBIZ, and we effectively just super transparent in terms of what we're doing, right? So we run under that compliance framework of being part of 2 public New York Stock Exchange companies. Universal DeFi under UUU on the New York Stock Exchange, and then Hyperscale Data under the New York Stock Exchange, both fully compliant, fully audited, and then the individual chain in the middle audited by outside parties. So
amazing.
that's what we sell people on. Plus, my wife and I have all of our own money in it too. So trust me, I'm not going anywhere.
Skin in the game.
Yeah.
Skin in the game.
I got more than skin in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for helping us understand a little bit more about
Good to meet you.
Ault.
Good to
Happy
meet you.
Consensus Week.
Thank you. It's great.